Ja men se på fan! Är ni här? Fan vad trevligt! Ska vi snacka lite parfym? Ja det kan vi göra. Hello, welcome to a new video. Let's go, hey ho, let's go. Hello my beautiful ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to the channel. Hope everything is fine with you guys. And as you saw in the title, sorry there's a train passing by, I'm going to recommend you 8 of the best high heat fragrances that I have in my collection at least. And for you guys who live in Europe, I guess you have had really hot weather the past 3-4 days. Here in Sweden it's been 30 degrees plus, and I know Great Britain has had even more, like 40 degrees Celsius plus. So I have had a chance to try a lot of fragrances in my collection to get to know them better, how they perform on my skin in high humidity, in high heat, when the sun is just blasting all day long, warm summers, you know, all that, or warm summer nights I would say. So the first fragrance for the super high heat, I would say this is a really good all-around fragrance and it's super cheap. You know, everyone can buy this. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or middle class, whatever. This is the classic 4711. And you see here I have used a lot of juice in this fragrance because this is something you just spray on. You can't really over apply this fragrance, which is very good. This is nothing complex. It's just a refreshing fragrance that you throw in your gym bag after a I don't know if you have been working out outside, or maybe if you've been on the beach all day, it's super hot. Just a citrus clean fragrance with a little bit old school touch. A classic cologne for the modern gentleman, I would say. So this is a great one. 4711, buy the biggest bottle you can find. The girls actually love this as well. Doesn't matter if it's cheap or not. Great fragrance for the high heat. The next one is Davidoff Cool Water, and I think this is good for the little bit more mature man who don't really like the sweet fragrances and want that typical classic cologne DNA, if I could say it like that. You know, this one smells like maybe your grandfather, your dad, or something like that. It has a very familiar masculine type of smell that I think a lot of you people either love or think it's a little bit too outdated maybe. But this is great if you like these type of colognes that are pretty versatile and a little bit more mature smelling. The next one is a fragrance that I haven't really decided if I'm gonna buy the big bottle because it is pretty expensive. But I have had a chance to try it because I got a little sample of this fragrance, and especially in the nighttime summer, I think this is really good because it is not super aquatic and fresh, but it's still a good fresh sunset type of fragrance in my opinion, that has a little bit more modern vibe than, for example, Cool Water. And this is Greenly from Parfums de Marly. I actually tried this versus Sedley, and me personally I prefer Greenly over Sedley because I think Sedley is a little bit leaning more towards the Davidoff Cool Water DNA. So if you want a little bit more modern type of smell, in my opinion, try Greenly. It is very fresh, very sexy, I think, for a fresh fragrance, and it lasts pretty long time on my skin. But this one I would recommend for the summer nights when it's still hot but the sun is about to set. Maybe you're going out, have a cocktail with some friends or something like that. This is a great fragrance for that, so maybe I'm gonna purchase this one. The next one in my collection is a very good all-around fragrance that I both use for the winter time or autumn and also in the high heat summertime. I have this little travel atomizer that I got from the gift set, and this is Acqua di Gio Profondo. I don't know if you can see that, but this is a 10 milliliter. I think this is perfect if you buy a gift set that you can just have this and throw in your gym bag or something like that. Super easy, super nice. You can just reapply a little bit when you want. This works really good in the high heat as well. It's not sweet, it's very aquatic, very much like a mineral note type of fragrance. Super masculine, fresh, very fresh fragrance. So this is probably one of my favorites in the fresh line from Acqua di Gio. The next one I would say is pretty similar to this one in one sense, that it is, I think that it's built it's built for this super high heat when you don't want to smell any like sweet notes, you don't want any woody notes even, you just want some very, very fresh aquatic, like almost like alcoholic vibes. And this is Versace Man of Fresh, really good as well. Love this fragrance. Put it in the refrigerator if you are really hot, and this will refresh you 100%. As you see, my bottle is almost empty, even though this is just a 30 milliliter bottle, but I really love this fragrance and I've used it a lot. I usually layer this one. I try to layer this with the original Acqua di Gio from Armani, and it's pretty nice and interesting type of smell that you can come up with if you mix and match different fragrances and layer combinations. But this one, if you just want a super fresh and aquatic fragrance, this is fantastic, guys, fantastic. Great price as well. I think you can find it on various discounters. You all know it, of course. Next up is a pretty new release from Dolce Gabbana. I think this is one of the better ones in their line, and this is called Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Forever Pour Homme. This is a grapefruit take on the original Dolce Gabbana Light Blue DNA. I think this is a little bit more fruity, a little bit more interesting than the original, but the original is still good. But I think this works better on me in the super high heat. I actually tried an extreme longevity test in the high heat when I was working out at the gym. This versus the original versus Nautica Voyage, and this outperformed the other fragrances in the high heat longevity tests. This lasted the longest time on my skin, and it didn't change so much. I was a little bit afraid that the grapefruit in this would become a little bit cloyy and unattractive on my skin, but it was pretty linear actually. So I think this is a great one if you want a little bit more of a unisex type of fragrance for the high heat. Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Forever. And also this is discounted, or not discounted, but this is discontinued, at least in Europe. So if you want this, I think it's about time to purchase it if you want it, or if you want to wait, maybe not that's such a good idea, because it will run out of stock really soon, I think. But this is a great fragrance. Okay, so next up is a fragrance from Hermes, pretty new release, and this is called H24. This reminds me a lot of Office for Men. It has that same type of character that Office for Men has. Very fresh, very Ambroxan-like. I think it's also almost a combination between Office for Men and Molecular one, because this is a molecule-based fragrance as well, and this works really good in high heat. I just have a sample here. I'm trying out the longevity and the projection on my skin right now, the past couple of days as well, and this is really good, I think. But so if you have Office for Men, this is not a must buy, but I think this might be a little bit more interesting than Office, and of course better priced. So this is like a hybrid between Office for Men and Molecular one. Really great compliment getter for the girls as well. Last but not least, guys, we have one of my favorite, I would say, summertime going out fragrances in the high heat with a little bit more sweet touch. So now when the sun is about to set, you're going out taking a cocktail with a girl on a first date maybe, or just with friends or family. This is a great fragrance for that occasion, and this is LaBelle. It has that holiday coconut type of twist that makes it a little bit more playful, a little bit more sexy, and the girls love this fragrance. It is pretty underrated, I think. It gets shadowed by, of course, Le Mal and also, of course, Ultra Male from the line of Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances. But I think this deserves a little bit more shine than the other fragrances. And it lasts a pretty long time actually on my skin. No, you know, gets a bad rep. I don't really know why this got such a bad rep. I think this is the Eau de Toilette version. I think this is better than the new Parfum version, because the Parfum version I feel is a more winter type oriented fragrance, while this is more suitable for a holiday in the summertime, in my opinion. So that was 8 fragrances that I think everyone should at least check out and try how they develop on your skin now when we are in the middle of the summertime, really high heat and high humidity type of weather. So let me know which one of these fragrances do you have in your collection, and also why don't you recommend a fragrance that you use in the high heat to me so I can check out some new fragrances. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.